Taking Back the Rainbow and 5 Feel-Good Lies That Are Wrecking Our Faith. Hi, I'm Jen Smith, and this is Truth Behind the Trend, and today, we're going there. We're going to flip the script on some of the culture's most positive messages. You know, the kind you see on t-shirts, water bottles, and viral reels. They sound empowering. They feel inclusive, but spiritually, they're almost truths. Just close enough to sound right, but far enough to wreck your faith. And we're also talking about the rainbow. Yeah, that one. Not in anger, but in truth, because the rainbow wasn't a brand. It was a promise. And it's time we take back what God designed with love, not rage. Let's get into it. Well, maybe not yet. How about a little disclaimer before I do? Jen, why are you talking about this? Why touch the uncomfortable stuff? Honestly, because I've always wished someone else would. I know I'm not the only one who sees this. I mean, I know other people feel this too, but I'm done waiting for someone else to say it. Maybe that someone is me. So brace yourself, because here goes. Number 1, the very first feel-good lie that sounds right. Let's break down the 5 cultural mantras that are everywhere right now. The first one, follow your heart. Wow, that sounds dreamy, like Disney approved. But here's the problem. Jeremiah 17:9 says the heart is deceitful above all things. Your heart can lie. It can ghost you, flatter you, and then it can lead you straight off a cliff. It'll say, he's the one, when he's not. It'll say, that's your dream, when it's just a distraction. It'll say, you deserve this, even when it's self-sabotage. Feelings aren't bad, but they're not facts. God can speak through your gut, but check it against his truth first. Don't follow your heart, follow God, and bring your heart with you. All right, number 2, speak your truth. Your truth? Wow, that sounds bold, feels empowering, but here's the problem. John 14:6 says, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Not a truth, but the truth. If everyone has their own truth, then truth cannot exist. If everyone has their own truth, then there's no such thing as truth. It's just opinions. Call it what it is. And the more someone yells, it's my truth, the more it sounds like they're trying to convince themselves of that. Because here's the deal. If your truth needs constant defending, it's not truth. Truth doesn't adjust to feelings. It doesn't flinch when it's challenged. It just is. So even if we don't agree with the truth, we have to agree that truth is truth. We could just disagree on what it says. All right, number 3, love is love. Wow, that sounds beautiful, right? But think about it. That phrase wasn't made to expand love. It was made to erase the definition so that no one could question it. Here's the truth. If everything gets to be called love, then nothing actually is love. 1 Corinthians 13:6 says, love rejoices in truth. It's like saying fire is fire. Sure, but one lights a candle and one burns down your house. Without truth, love isn't a gift. It's a weapon in disguise. Real love doesn't say, do whatever you want. It says, you were made for more than this. All right, number 4, you are enough. Sounds comforting. Every self-help podcast, you are enough. But let's be real. If you were really enough, you wouldn't have to keep repeating it. Ever notice how self-help says it over and over? That's not confidence. That's overcompensation. You're not broken. You are missing something. Without God, it's like trying to run your car on an empty tank. I mean, you could say, I am enough all day long, but your car still sputters. You are enough with him because he fills what you can't. All right, number 5, manifest your dream. You've seen it. Vision boards, affirmations, scripting your reality. You heard it right here, right? What you focus on, you attract. It's true, but only if God is in it. Because without him, it's just sparkly self-idolatry. God isn't your assistant. He's your source. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. So dream big, speak life, write the vision, but surrender it. That's not manifestation. That's alignment. All right, these are the 5 messages. They're almost truths, I call them. Close enough to feel right, but far enough to keep you stuck. And when almost truths get repeated enough, they start to replace the real thing. That's why I'm speaking up. All right, bonus lie. And here's the one most people won't touch. Are you ready? The rainbow means pride. We know what month it is, right? It's everywhere this month. And then listen, I'm not here to scream, to shame, or to spark outrage, or to judge. But can we just say the truth out loud? The rainbow wasn't made for branding. The rainbow wasn't made for branding. It wasn't designed for movement or for politics. Genesis 9:13 says, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me, God, and earth and us. The rainbow is God's promise. It's a reminder that God would never flood the earth again. It's a sign of mercy, of hope, and a God who keeps his word. And somewhere along the way, we just handed it over. We just let the world rebrand it until people were afraid to say what it really meant. But if we're reclaiming truth, let's reclaim all of it and not be afraid to say it. I'm not taking it back in anger. I'm taking it back in love. I'm not going to let culture define what God already claimed. So let me make something super clear. I'm not claiming moral high ground here. I'm just tired of no one calling this out. But I'm also not here to bend. I'm not here to say, yeah, you're right, just so I can keep the peace. I'm not here to blend with culture and get a pat on the back. Believing something is wrong doesn't make me hateful. It makes me honest. And let's be honest, when culture forces you to say something is wonderful just to feel included, well, that's not about love. That's about validation. And if it were truly right, it wouldn't need the applause to feel secure. I tell my daughters this all the time. If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. I'm not raising girls to fall. I'm raising women who know how to stand in truth, even when it's not popular. Man, this one's not popular. All right, are you still with me? Deep breath. Let's land this plane. The truth that actually sets you free. Here's what real love looks like. Love tells you the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Love calls you higher even when it's hard, and love doesn't leave you in a mess. It helps you out of it. It doesn't say you're fine just the way you are. It says you were made for more than this. Jesus didn't come to boost our confidence. He came to save our lives, not from insecurity, but from sin. Oh, there's that word. There's that word, sin. People hate that word. Why? Well, it makes them feel bad about themselves. And it's not just adultery or murder. Sin of the little things, the envy, the pride, the jealousy, the coveting what someone else has, the anger, the bitterness. Yeah, those are the sins. Jesus didn't come to make us feel better. He came to make us new. Romans 12:2 says, do not be transformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So where culture says blend in, faith says stand out. That's not just love, that's freedom. And that's what changes everything. So are you thinking, who does this girl think she is? That's a fair question. I'm not a pastor. Certainly not perfect, far from it. But I'm also not stuck. And I've watched the world chase formulas, trends, and quick fixes. And I've stayed quiet long enough. But now, I'm done pretending. These almost truths, they don't work. They never did. So I'm speaking up, not to preach, but just to offer something real. Take it or leave it. But if you're tired of the noise, you might feel surprisingly at home here. If you're still here, thanks for listening all the way through. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not here to win an argument. I just care. I care that people are exhausted from chasing things that don't work. I care that people find peace that actually lasts. So take what you need, leave what you don't. There's no pressure, just some truth offered in love. I'll still be here, ready when you are, if you ever are. Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave comments, push back, and I'm really glad that God's given me the courage to speak up. Hope to see you next time on Truth Behind the Trend.